First, we'll go ahead and unbox. I have our instructions right here with the necessary bolts, an Allen wrench, get our scissors to go ahead and cut the strap. Go ahead and take out the parts. This will be your handle, put this to the side. Two rails, one on each side. And we'll go ahead and take out the base. Make sure to have someone help you. It's fairly heavy. Now that we have everything unboxed, let's go through all the materials that you have. So we have 6 bolts. 2 of the bolts will actually be installed into the rails, which will install the handle. You'll have 4 bolts that will attach the rails to the base. So you have the base here, you have your handle, we'll attach later, and your 2 rails, your 2 side rails right here. So let's get started. Step 1, we'll go ahead and take the rails that were supplied. So right here's the front of the cart with the ramp. This is the back of the cart. Go ahead and actually make sure these handles, the rods are actually towards the back. Fit the first post in the first hole, then manipulate the second rod in place. Do the same thing with this side. That first hole lined up, then pulled into that second hole. Then 2 of the bolts were supplied. We'll tighten them up with the Allen wrench here in the back. Just get those started. After you've tightened the 2 bolts on the rail on the back of the cart, we'll go ahead and tip it to the side so we can get to the bolts on the front of the cart. So there's a bolt down here, and then there's also a bolt hidden up here. So we'll go ahead and start these 2. So we'll hand tighten them. And just go ahead and tighten them with your Allen wrench. And then we'll move to step 3. Step 3 brings us to the handle. So we'll actually want to tip this back onto its 4 casters. Grab your handle. And note there's 2 holes here. So the first hole is going to be for the 72-inch rounds. The hole further in is going to be for the 60-inch rounds. Today we're going to be assembling this to hold the 72-inch rounds. So we'll be installing it into the first hole. So bring it into the back of the cart. Make sure the holes are face down. Put it into position, line up 1 hole first, then manipulate it for the second. And you just want to seat this into that hole. Tighten up both sides. Make sure this one's seated. Once that's seated, make sure to pull on this to make sure those are seated into those holes. Now that you have the cart fully assembled, make sure on the handle that the bolts are fully seated. So notice this is fully seated. And to load the cart, we're going to load a couple tables here. Make sure you do press on the foot brakes on both sides of the caster. Push on all the way down on both sides. Make sure the cart is stable so it's not going anywhere. We're going to load a 60-inch round and a 72-inch round. We want to make sure we load these face to face. So we go up the ramp, set that in place into that bowl, and then we'll load the 72-inch round on the other side of that one face to face.